Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you all are doing great. Today we're going to be coloring this image. If you've been following along, we've been doing a semi flower series because why not? We kicked it off with using this and coloring this, and then yesterday, no, not yesterday, we had a different video yesterday, before yesterday, we did our own, and the next time I come back, hopefully we'll have those print out and scan and cut out. That'll probably be later in the week for August. Today is August 2nd, 2025. I'm only saying that because this morning when I woke up, I was like, do I really want to do this? And with school starting up, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to continue doing a video every day. And I am not going to be doing live streams for a while, just so you know. Um, yeah, I've decided that I can't do live streams right now, at least. So I had asked, how you all felt about us continuing this, and one dreamer said she liked both. So again, it left us right back where we were started from. So yeah, I've decided that I will not be doing live streams for a while, and I will not be making videos for a while um, every day. I haven't decided when I'm going to cut it off. School starts soon. Today is Saturday, so I want to finish this project up, and then I want to go ahead and finish getting all the school stuff because my son has been very reluctant to say what he likes and doesn't like because I'm in the process of changing school out. So we're gonna cut these at 4 1/4, only because when I loaded the paper, I guess it pulled up funny. That was not what I wanted to do. Let's reprint. All right, I decided not to cut or restart, but this is how the paper looked cut down. I just need to cut these edges off. And this is the new one that we just printed off. So there we go. What I thought we would do is the same thing we did earlier in the year. This was on a, what I'm doing right now was a live stream video. Um, we colored in the background, but these are all like sunflowers. So as I was sitting here mentally preparing to do this, I was like, what are we gonna do? Also, this morning when I woke up, I was like, I don't know if I want to craft or not. And then I was like, I love it. I really enjoy making a video every day. So that's where I really am. I'm kind of like, do I really want to keep doing this or no? The answer is I do want to keep doing it, but I don't know if I can commit to every day continuously because sometimes I don't want to do it. And then I'm like, oh, I do. I really want to do it. I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't want to do it. So it's one of those types of, are we gonna do it or no? I also wrote the marker company that I got those markers from that I told you I was gonna do. I haven't heard back from them yet. All right, so let's go ahead. I pulled out this color. It's called light caramel, and I have a regular printer. It's like Canon something, Pixma something. So if you're wondering, I think it's an inkjet. Maybe. I don't know. It's old. I've had it for a while now. I got it off of HSN because it's supposed. I got roped into it by my friends. They was like, "Oh my goodness, they have a Canon," and by my friends I mean the internet people that I've never met, don't have a conversation with, in one of those HSN forums. They was like, "Oh my God, they have a 12 by 12 printer, blah blah blah. It's gonna be great, yada yada," and I got it. It stayed in the box for a while, and I was like, "I'm gonna just turn it back in," but I've been using it a lot more than I thought I was. I have not printed nothing 12 by 12 on it though. I went to Ross yesterday, um, and they had color paper, like the long sheets. I was like, ooh. In my mind, I was like, that's really cool. We could do something with that. And I was like, let's not take any more paper home because we don't need it. We don't need it. All right, so we're gonna use cream and light caramel does not make the color that I wanted to make, and that's okay. Because what I thought we would do is just color these in the markers and then use some crayon, color pencil. I just want to say we're August 2nd already. I feel like next week I'm going to be, oh my God, where'd the month go? It's already the August, I mean September. And then, after September, it's over for the rest of the year because then we have for people that celebrate, it's a Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, Valentine's Day, like all of those. And I really want to be very present in those moments because this year my son is no longer going to be single digits. My little man is turning 10. And while I am making a huge deal about it, when I turned 10, it was happy birthday. No party. No fanfare. Nothing. I did this get this off of Pinterest. They sent me to another link. So in the description box, if you're looking for this image, it will be the link that I got because I want you all to know that it's pretty things out there that's available for us to use. We sometimes just got to know where to go. When I opened this up, it dropped that pink little, a purple little line there, which, not a fan of. I don't know. I think these are supposed to be daisies, maybe? I'm not quite sure. But I do like that they're all the same flower. These little markers have had it. I was watching, and please, no one attack me for this, okay? No one attack me. Um, you can if you like. We can have an adult conversation about it. I was watching, not intentional, but was watching spellbinders talk about why they need to be able to get dyes from China versus dyes in the States. And it was a man on, I don't know his name. I watched it for maybe 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes. And then I went to the comment section to see what was in the comment section. And lo and behold, there was someone saying, stop making excuses for why you're increasing the prices. Blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't really concerned about what they said. I was concerned about what they said. Um, because the problem, if you've ever been in a business situation, and business is you at home making a decision on whether you get eggs from the farmer that makes them, or you go to a grocery store and get the eggs from the grocery store, right? I think this is one of the first problems that we had with Walmart when they started giving us great value, okay, versus Tyson, versus Jimmy Dean, whatever it is that we believe in, right? They started giving us great value, and then some of us love great value products, and some of us are like, I don't know where it's from, I don't know where it's sourced, et cetera, et cetera. So it's supply and demand, basically, right? It's a supply that they have, a demand from us that we want. So the person was like, stop making excuses, and someone else was like, I agree 100%. But this is what I'll say about getting things outsourced. A lot of companies outsource the work as well, right? Have you ever called an American store and not gotten an American? You've gotten someone from another country speaking to you, right? So I think it's in that same vein. And the person made valid points. He was like, we used to use this company and then they stopped making it, and they were saying how expensive the dyes are. I really want to talk about that because have you ever heard of ironclad designs? Iron Orchard designs. They have some of the most beautiful molds I've ever seen in my life. Those molds are like $30, if not more. 25, $30. And this one lady at one of the booths, the one of the places that I go to, she had a booth there, and I used to get one mold or one stem set like every year for my birthday, and they were $30. And you know how cheap I am, right? You know how I always complain about prices, and you know how I feel about certain things being too much because of just because. And I think that they make their stuff in the States. I think all that stuff is made in America. So if you think about it, whenever we think about things, if you're selling something for $10, right? How much did you pay for it to get it made? If something costs $10, let's think about this. If something cost us $10 to have purchased and be made, and you're selling something for $10, how much did it cost you to make it? Probably $3, $4, right? You have your design, you get the design that you have made. Now you got to talk to somebody because they're going to be mass producing these, right? A lot of companies, especially like stamp companies, die companies, won't crank their machine up if you're not getting 1,000 or more created. And you know it, the higher the number, it goes down if you've ever purchased something from Fire Mountain Gym, right? The first thing, like this one marker, is $7, but if you get two, you're paying 6.50. But if you get three, you're paying 5. And if you get four or more of the same marker, it's $3.50 per, right? Versus the $7. So you've decreased it by half percent. I feel like the companies are trying to negate the cost of what it may cost them, and they don't want to give give us, the consumer, the same price that we would pay if they didn't have to pay tariffs, if they didn't have to pay extra this or extra that. And as we all know, most companies, I can't speak on all of them, they get some type of tax break if all the cars align and if everything works. If you are a number person, then you probably have seen it. I went and purchased something from Walmart the other day. It's so funny. Um, the tag on, I think I told y'all about this. I went and got a shirt, for example. The shirt said on a label that was $6, but the tag said it was 5.50, right? Now, mind you, I am one of those people that will check all the prices as the cashier is scanning them. I used to go to the price checker, and I really hate that they make us download their app for us to use on their stuff. I just feel like that's another way to cut costs. Same way with self checkout. We don't even have to go about self checkout. You know how I feel about self checkout. Um, but in general, I do think that the companies, and we've spoken about this when we've done live streams in the past. I've told y'all a stamp set, a stamp and a die. I promise you, I was on a website. I don't remember where it was, but it was a stamp and a die set that was like $90. $90. And my question is why? Why is it? It was not 90, 100. It was like close to $100. I was like, what is going on? And why are we doing this? Um, I do feel like the companies themselves create this frenzy for us. They create the frenzy and we just fall into it, right? Like every year, Simon Says Stamp, I believe, is one of those people. Like they have exclusive stamp sets. The first 500 stamp sets, and after that, it's over, it's gone. And then people, they'll go onto the website and they'll buy 10 of them. And let's just say the stamp set is $20 from Simon Says Stamp. And they'll go right to eBay, another reselling company, any other one, online. And let's say they spend $20 on them. Now they're selling them for 40. So now they're getting a profit. The problem is though, as a consumer, we have to stop. We have to stop wanting these items so badly that we're willing to do specific things, like go on eBay and buy something. I had wanted, I've wanted, now it's two. Now it's two stamps. The thing that Heather showed earlier in the year, her little snowman stamp set. I found a stamp set, but it's 40 something dollars, and it's you have to do like it's a whole thing. And then one in Dreamer sent me a message and said, "Hey, here's the stamp set that you wanted," and it was the same link, but I never talked about it because it has a lot of stipulations with it, as well as it's from the stamp company is called Ducks in a Row. They're no longer in business, right? They went out of business when I found the stamp set, maybe 6 months before that. So this lady on here, I don't even think she crafts anymore. She does like travel and planner stuff now. Tanya. I think it's called Home with Tanya, but it's spelled Tanya. Her name is spelled Tanya. And maybe she says Home with Tanya. That's all. Anyway, she had made this really pretty Halloween card, and it was a witch sitting on the broom. And the witch looked like Samantha from Bewitched, and I think that's really why I wanted it because it resonated with me because of my mom. Would I have ever made a bunch of witch cards? Nah, probably two, three, random here and there. I make them, but I really wanted. So I went on to eBay a few times, and the stamp has popped up from here and there. Time to time, it's popped up and shown itself, and then went away. And so this year, like a crazy person, I went looking for it, couldn't find it. So then I was like, oh, I really missed out. But then I was like, did you miss out? Because how many times are you going to use it? And honestly, I can't even answer that question. Probably, like I said, 3 or 4 times, maybe. At the max, it would be 3 or 4 times. I always try to tell myself that, like, let's not jump on this bandwagon of I want. FOMO is a real thing. I think FOMO happens more so with me when it's a sale. Like when everybody starts showing their little orange stickers from Hobby Lobby, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go. And then when they're showing the stuff that they've purchased, I'm like, I don't even like that stuff. Like that's not even my style of creativity. That's not something that I would like. And then I see all these ribbon. I'm like, oh, ribbon. Mind you, I'm like, we rarely use. I always tell myself we rarely use ribbon. We don't use a lot of ribbon. We don't play with ribbon like a lot of other crafters, creatives do. And so I'm always like, okay, let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop it and let's focus. Let's think. Let's try to get to the root of the problem. Let's find out really what it is. And for me, I like the thrill of the hunt. For me, I enjoy being able to say, I found this. My friend makes the spinny cups, and I don't. Walmart had their tumblers, the little tumbler machine for $7. It's normally like 30, I guess, 20 something, $30. And so I sent her a message. I took the picture and I sent it to her. Now, Walmart doesn't put everything on clearance in all the stores simultaneously. Because the Walmart close to my house, it was full price. And I was like, man, I should have just bought this for her and sent it to her. But I didn't because when I wrote her the message, she didn't say, oh, I want it, I like it, anything like that. She was like, oh, I'm going to order it. So I was like, okay, then she's not looking for it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, getting back to the comment and the man speaking. It's Spellbinders. Did I say that already? Yes. And Spellbinders is expensive. It's not like cheap. So whenever they have their Black Friday deals, I like to jump on their Black Friday deals. I really wanted this little die from them a couple of years ago. It's a gingerbread house thing, like a little treat box you can make. Now, mind you, I have a scan and cut. I could always just find a design for scan and cut and make it in score to score lines. Do I do that? Mm-mm. I never do that. I'm all like, ooh, I need to try and find this. I need to try and find that. This is pastel yellow. I don't know how. Oh, it's good. Okay. I try not to do yellow, if you notice, because the yellow is the card. When I was showing you, when I asked you to do the card challenge with me, Yesterday, if you want to, you don't have to. Um, that was kind of very vivid and bold. So that's why I'm just doing trace outlines today, and we're gonna get in here with these color pencils and on some of it. Some of them we're gonna use these markers because it take a while to get that pigmentation down for a color pencil. Anyway, I just found it very interesting that he was coming online and trying to explain why. I guess people are saying, why can't you go and get a dye in America? And basically, he was saying the companies that make dyes don't want to make dyes for craft companies. And then he said he thought about, or they've thought about buying and making their own dyes, a dye company, a dye factory, and making their own dyes. Because he says Spellbinders was originally in another spot, but the owners moved to the location where they had the dye company or the stamp company because of that very reason, and they closed down last year. I think that we have to remember that steel rule and dyes is not, it's not cheap. In general, a lot of stuff that we really want is not cheap, and maybe they can't get it for a good deal, and maybe, just maybe, they're trying to look out for their best interests and not losing money. And at the end of the day, it's not about the consumer, it's more about the money that they can make. And I think sometimes we don't remember that we, as the consumer, is not really the main focus. A lot of companies don't focus on the consumer, they focus on the consumer's money, right? Because I was watching this streamer. He's a huge streamer, has millions of followers, and he was talking about how he wanted to release his what was it? A marker situation, a marker setup with Ohuhu, but Ohuhu is not in the States. And I think he's in Australia. I think he's in Australia. That did not want to stay on there. And he was saying that because of the tariffs, the prices are higher. And the thing that I think we forget is that other countries already pay taxes, tariffs. We've always paid taxes and tariffs, well, most of us, to get stuff shipped to the location where they are. But he was like, the prices went up. And I told you I really wanted those 300 and something Ohuhu markers. And I was waiting on them to go on sale during the Christmas holidays, and they never went on sale. They used to be $244, and I feel like that's a lot of money, right? Not gonna even lie about that. And now the last time when I was like really focused on trying to get them, they went up to 369, I think. They went up really high, and I was just like, I cannot even support the mindset that I am going to buy that because she's not going to do that. And by she, I mean myself. All right, so we're going to take this pink 230. We're going to color in on here. So I was like, okay. I guess I see where they're trying to make it a point that they really need to. I think trade is good. Before I go any further, I think trading outside or inside of the boundary that you have set up is good. I think that if you are a person that has a farm, as an example, and you sell eggs, and your neighbor sells meat, I do think that you and your neighbor should set up some type of system that you could, trade. And then if the person across the way sells fruit, you should be able to trade fruit for eggs for meat. The way it was back in the day, bartering, right? Sometimes we at the egg farm does not produce enough food for the fruit and the meat. So I think that at some point we have to say, hey meat, I'll trade eggs with you every other month. And hey fruit, I'll trade with you eggs every third month or something of the year, something like that, because we'll still be able to sell our eggs to our consumers. But in the States, we don't do that. We've outsourced so much stuff that we don't have the ability to this. I don't know what's going on with this marker, to be able to do that type of trade within the states for specific things. Because, as you know, stuff in the states costs a lot more than getting it from across the way, right? So, if I were a company, and the only way I would want, if I was saying I only want to do American based trade, I would have to really do my homework on all these companies to see who would be the better company to do the trading with, to make sure that we instill the good working relationship. Because I think that we, as a crafting, speaking from a crafting point of view, we never real, we don't know who's in the boardroom of these stamp companies, right? I want to say a couple of years ago, a bunch of the stamp companies were like, we're all friends. And I think that's a thing. You should be friends with each other. You need to know who you can talk to about certain things. Like if you noticed, I want to say Hero Arts before they were bought or decided to be consumed by spellbinders, they were offering like how to, right? Do I think it is impossible for the stamp companies to do stuff in the States? No. Do I think it's impossible for the stamp companies or the die companies to get stuff from within the States? No. Do they want to is always the question. What are we going to get out of it is probably what they're thinking. Um, and how best is it going to benefit my bottom dollar? That's what we have to always remember. It's not about the consumer so much as it is about the company's bottom dollar. It's very evident even with Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has went up from $1 over a 5-year time span from $1 to $1.75. My son yesterday said something very innocently and very smart. He said, "Why is it still a Dollar Tree then?" Because nothing in there is $1 anymore. Nothing in there is $1. And at this point, don't go there for school supplies. And people are still buying junk from there, and you know doing hauls and things like that because some stuff there is still worth the price or it's cheaper then, but not school supplies. So if you're looking for markers, crayons, and stuff like that, just go ahead and go to Target. Your local Dollar Tree is not the spot to be anymore. Walmart is cheaper. You know, if you don't, some people don't like Walmart and what they stand for, then go somewhere else. Do not go to the daggone Dollar Tree for school supplies because you will be very disappointed in the price point. And I think that's where we have to look at in all of these companies. Look at all of the companies as if that is something to keep in mind. All right, everyone. So we've colored a little bit of this blue flower, and I feel like we're not going to be able to color everything. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and then I'll come back on another video and finish up coloring the rest. So I want to say thank you all for watching. I hope that you have a great day, and until next time, happy crafting.